Rarely do Tampa Bay area school superintendents get together, but today the bosses from Hillsborough, Manatee, Pasco, Pinellas, and Polk counties, they sat down for an emergency meeting. They want Governor Rick Scott to do something, anything, to get them the money they need to teach our students.
Governor Scott proposed an increase in student funding of $152 per student in his initial budget. But the final state budget diverts nearly all of that money into school safety. That means the final amount of flexible funding for schools is increasing by just 47 cents per student. 47 cents.
We still need to pay our teachers. We still need to provide adequate resources for our classrooms. We still need to ensure that we meet the class size amendment. 47 cents won't make that happen.
Our Phil Buck spent the day digging into those numbers for us. He's here to help us make sense of what's actually being proposed.
Right, Reg. I mean, when you look at school budgets across the country between 2008 and 2015, no state saw its per student spending fall at a higher rate than Florida. We're talking down 25%. And now when we look at the current budget proposal, our local superintendents say that they're going to have to make some big cuts because the governor's budget that's on the table right now doesn't even come close to giving them what they need.
We will have to make some very difficult decisions. This might mean cutting vital programs and services for our students. It may mean we cannot hire teachers needed to be in compliance with the class size amendment. It will surely put a strain on all of our teachers. This cannot happen to our children. They deserve better from us.
So, Phil, what about the governor? What does he have to say about this?
Well, he's saying basically that he has dramatically increased school spending while he's been in office, and that he was on what he's got on the table right now. He says it should be more than enough for these schools to address both safety and increase funding for education. But these superintendents, I mean, they say that is simply not true. What they said today was that if they go with what the governor's proposing, they will be millions of dollars short of what they need to put a school resource officer in every school, which means that they will have to pull that money out of their general funds, which means classrooms, teachers, program services. Those are going to end up getting cut.
Okay, so what do they want instead then?
Well, that's a good question. And they were very adamant today. One, they were encouraging everyone to email the governor. They're like giving out his direct email saying, email the governor, tell him to veto the budget and get the legislature back for a special session to come up with something that's not going to leave these local school districts holding the bag for the cost of these added security measures.
It's very interesting, and a lot of people have a lot of opinions about this.
Of course, and we need to put it in perspective because this is a touchy subject, Alice, and obviously we're talking about a horrible school shooting. 17 people lost their lives. But the fact of the matter is Florida has only had one school shooting.
Right.
Ever. Okay, and the governor is feeling all this pressure to do something about school security because of this one mass shooting in Parkland, but the result now is that we're looking at spending hundreds of millions of dollars, potentially cutting millions more from education, all because of one event.
Right. So, okay, short of vetoing the budget, which is what they really want, is there anything that the governor can do?
One other thing that these superintendents today mentioned was maybe you don't veto the entire budget, maybe just veto the education line in that budget and then work from there. But, you know, based on the tone of the email we got from the governor's office today, it is pretty clear he thinks that educators and these school districts have a pretty good deal on the table.
Like you said, it is a very touchy subject and a lot to come and a lot of conversations to be had.
Absolutely.
All right, Phil, thank you.